Hey there, and welcome to our deep dive into Michael Gerber's The E-Myth Revisited.
Okay.
This book, it's not just for aspiring entrepreneurs.
Right.
It's really for anyone who wants to understand how we think about work itself.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about the E-Myth.
Okay.
The 3 personalities inside every business person. And even the idea of your business as like a product.
That's right.
So pretty exciting stuff.
It is.
All right, so what is the E-Myth?
Well, the E-Myth is this fatal assumption that if you understand the technical work of a business, you automatically understand a business that does that technical work.
Okay.
And a lot of people
That makes sense.
fall into that trap.
Yeah.
Gerber actually says it really well.
Okay.
He says the fatal assumption is this, that if you understand the technical work of a business, you understand a business that does that technical work.
It's so simple, but it's so profound.
It is.
Right. Like, I'm pretty good at fixing things around the house, but that doesn't mean I could run a successful handyman business.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's 2 different things.
And that's where Gerber brings in the 3 personalities.
Okay.
The technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur.
So we all have these personalities inside of us.
We do.
Lovely.
We're all kind of vying for control
Oh, wow.
in our businesses, but honestly, in our lives as well.
So multiple personalities.
Yeah.
In a way.
Okay, but so how do these personalities actually play out
Well, so
in a business?
the technician is the one who just loves to do the work.
Okay.
They're really good at it.
Right.
They love getting their hands dirty.
Yeah.
Then you have the manager who loves order, processes, systems. And then you have the entrepreneur who's always thinking 10 steps ahead about the future.
I can definitely see myself in that technician personality.
Yeah.
Like, really enjoy like getting in there and actually doing the work.
Yeah.
But then sometimes the planning and the delegating kind of falls by the wayside.
And that's the trap that so many of us fall into, is that we become so focused on the doing that we don't do the other things that are necessary to actually build a successful business.
So it's about finding that balance.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
Between like the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur.
That's right.
Okay.
It's about integrating those personalities instead of letting one dominate.
I can see how like too much technician could lead to burnout.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And then too much manager can stifle creativity and innovation.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Okay. And I know that Gerber talks about Sarah.
He does.
The pie shop owner.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about Sarah?
Yeah, so Sarah was an amazing baker.
Okay.
I mean, she made the best pies.
But she was so focused on the baking that she completely neglected the business side of things.
Oh, so a classic technician.
Classic technician.
Yeah.
She was so good at what she did, but she didn't know how to run a business.
Yeah.
And she almost drove her business into the ground.
Wow.
By trying to do everything herself.
So it's not enough to just be good at the technical work.
It's not.
You really need to have that business mindset as well.
You do.
Okay. And then Gerber also talks about this idea of the comfort zone.
Yes, the comfort zone.
Right.
It's so alluring because it feels safe. It feels familiar, but it can also be a trap.
Oh,
because it can prevent us from growing.
Okay.
As our businesses grow, we often cling to what we know, even if it's not serving us anymore.
That makes sense.
We get stuck in that comfort zone of doing the work instead of building a system that allows the business to work without us. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because the comfort zone can be deceptive.
It can.
You know, it feels safe and familiar, but it can actually prevent you from reaching that next level.
It can.
Okay, so let's talk about the business life cycle.
Okay.
So we have infancy, adolescence, and maturity.
That's right.
So let's start with infancy.
Okay.
So this is when the business is just starting out.
Yes, it's full of passion, long hours, excitement.
Yeah.
But it's also where the E-Myth is the most dangerous.
Why is that?
Yeah. Because just like Sarah, the pie shop owner, we're trying to do everything ourselves.
Okay.
We're wearing all the hats.
Right.
And we risk burning out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we move on to adolescence.
Adolescence.
So what happens in adolescence?
So in adolescence, the business starts to grow.
Okay.
Demands increase. And we might find ourselves hiring people just to alleviate the immediate pressure
rather than strategically building a team.
So it gets a little messy.
It can get a little chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where that comfort zone can really become a trap.
Absolutely.
Okay. So it's not just about getting bigger.
Right.
It's also about evolving the way you operate.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have maturity.
Maturity.
So what does a mature business look like?
A mature business is a business that can run without the owner.
Oh, wow.
Constantly putting out fires.
Okay.
It's like a well-oiled machine where each part has a specific function.
Right.
And everything works together seamlessly.
Okay, so it's almost like you're creating a system that can run itself.
That's the goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
Good.
It's not enough to just be good at what you do. You need to build a system that supports your vision and frees you up to focus on the things
that's right.
you do best.
Exactly.
All right, and that brings us to this idea of your business as a product.
Your business as a product.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a little abstract for me.
It is a little abstract.
Can you help me understand this?
Of course. Yeah. So when we buy a product, we expect a certain level of consistency and quality.
Right.
Whether it's a car or a phone or even a cup of coffee, we want it to deliver on its promise.
Right.
Gerber argues that your business should be viewed in the same way.
So you're saying create something that delivers a consistent experience.
Exactly.
Okay, but how do you actually do that?
Right.
Especially if you're not a fast food chain.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where the turnkey revolution comes in.
Okay.
Gerber uses this term to describe the rise of franchising, and particularly how McDonald's became a global empire.
Oh, McDonald's. Okay.
By focusing on systemization.
Gotcha.
Above all else. I see the connection there.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, franchising always seemed like a very specific model.
Sure.
Not something that applies to every business.
Right. But what's fascinating about McDonald's isn't just the burgers and fries. It's the system they've built to deliver those burgers and fries consistently, no matter where you are in the world.
You walk into any McDonald's.
Exactly.
And you pretty much know what to expect.
You know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I may not always crave a Big Mac, but
yeah,
I can appreciate the consistency.
The predictability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how does that translate to something like a freelance writing business?
Okay.
You know, I'm not exactly selling a standardized product.
That's the challenge Gerber throws down.
Okay.
How would you franchise your work?
That's a good question.
What are the systems, the processes, the standards that would allow someone else to deliver your unique value proposition, even if you weren't there?
That's a tough one. Because my writing feels very personal.
Yeah.
Very much tied to my own voice and style.
I understand.
Turning it into a system feels almost sterile.
Right. But think of it as capturing your essence, your expertise, in a way that can be replicated and scaled without sacrificing quality. Okay. It's not about becoming robotic.
Right.
It's about identifying the core elements that make your work unique and building a system around them.
Okay. So how do we do that?
Well, that's where the business development process comes in.
Okay. Remind me about those three key elements, I guess.
So we have innovation, quantification, and orchestration.
Right. But how do they fit into this franchise prototype?
Okay. So innovation isn't just about coming up with the next big thing.
Okay.
It's about constantly looking for ways to improve every aspect of your business.
Okay.
From how you interact with clients to how you deliver your services.
It's about that mindset of continuous improvement. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then quantification.
Quantification is about measuring the impact of those innovations, using data to see what's actually working and what's not.
So you experiment, you measure.
Right.
And then what about orchestration?
Orchestration is where you take those proven innovations, those data-backed improvements, and you weave them into a system, a process that can run smoothly and efficiently, even without you directly overseeing every step.
So it's about creating a system that's reliable, repeatable, and ultimately frees you up.
That's right.
Okay, this is all tying back to those entrepreneurial personalities.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Right? It's about balancing the technician's drive to do the work with the manager's need for structure and the entrepreneur's vision for the future.
You got it.
This is making a lot of sense to me now.
Good.
The E-Myth Revisited is really about building a business that works for you, not the other way around.
That's the goal.
Okay, so I'm feeling inspired.
Good.
But also a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Building this franchise prototype sounds like a huge undertaking.
It can be.
So where do we even start?
Well, the first step is defining your primary aim.
Okay.
And this is where things get personal.
Right.
Gerber argues that your business should serve your life.
Okay.
Not the other way around.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we're talking about big picture stuff here.
We are.
Life goals, values, passions.
That's right.
It's not just about making money or building a successful business.
It's not.
It's about aligning your work with your deeper aspirations.
Exactly.
This is really interesting.
It is.
So Gerber provides a framework.
He does.
Called the Business Development Program.
Yeah. It's a 7-step process for transforming your business from a technician's trap into an entrepreneurial masterpiece.
7 steps.
7 steps.
Okay, and it all starts with defining your primary aim. Okay. I'm eager to dive into those steps.
All right.
All right, so let's jump into this business development program.
Okay.
I'm ready to transform my business.
Yeah.
From a technician's trap into an entrepreneurial masterpiece.
That's the goal.
Where do we begin?
Well, as we talked about, the foundation of everything is defining your primary aim.
Right, and this goes beyond just like simple business goals.
It does.
It's really about clarifying your values, your passions, and ultimately what you want your life to look like.
Exactly.
I like that approach.
Good.
It puts things into perspective.
It does.
So it's not just about what kind of business you want to build.
Right.
It's about what kind of life you want to live.
Exactly. Your business should be a vehicle to achieve your primary aim, not the other way around.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs get caught up in the day-to-day grind.
They do.
And lose sight of the bigger picture.
They lose sight of why they started the business in the first place. Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we actually define our primary aim?
Well, Gerber provides a series of thought-provoking questions in the book to kind of guide you through this process. Things like, what are your values? What are your passions? What do you want to experience? What do you want to achieve in this lifetime? How much money do you need to live the life that you desire?
Those are some big questions.
They are big questions.
But it's also exciting to think about.
It is exciting.
It's like creating a roadmap for your life, not just your business.
Exactly. It is a roadmap. And your business becomes the vehicle to help you navigate that map and reach your destination.
So once you've defined your primary aim, what's next?
Well, then you need to translate that into a tangible vision for your business, your strategic objective.
So the primary aim is the why.
Yes.
And the strategic objective is the...
That's a great way to put it. Okay.
Yeah. The strategic objective outlines the specific outcomes you want your business to achieve. How big do you want it to be?
Okay.
What kind of impact do you want to make?
Right.
What are your financial goals?
Yeah.
Gerber encourages you to really envision your business as a finished product, a perfectly operating machine.
I love that imagery.
It's powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so empowering to think about creating something so intentional, so well designed.
Absolutely.
But how do you go from this big picture vision to actually building the business?
Well, that's where the next 3 steps come in.
Okay.
Organizational strategy, management strategy, and people strategy.
Okay, let's break those down a little bit.
Okay.
Organizational strategy.
Yes.
That sounds like structure and hierarchy.
It does.
Is that even necessary for like a small business?
It is.
Or a solopreneur?
Even if you're a one-person show, it's crucial to think about your business as an organization, not just a collection of tasks.
Right.
So the organizational strategy helps you define roles and responsibilities, even if you're the one wearing all the hats for now.
So it's about creating clarity.
It is.
Even if it's just for yourself.
Yes.
Okay. And then management strategy.
Management strategy.
That sounds like it's all about leadership.
It is about leadership.
Okay.
But it's also about creating systems that empower people to do their best work.
Yeah.
Think of it as creating a framework that allows the business to function effectively, whether you're there or not.
So a well-designed management system ensures consistent quality and customer experience.
Exactly.
Regardless of who's doing the work.
That's the goal.
It's like that hotel example.
Yes.
That Gerber talks about.
The Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, where everything is so meticulously planned.
Every detail is taken care of.
It creates this seamless experience for the guest.
It does.
Okay, so we've defined the vision. We've built the structure. We've created the systems.
Yes.
Now, what about the people?
Okay, so that's where people strategy comes in.
Okay.
It's about attracting, hiring, and retaining the right people who align with your vision and values.
So it's not just about finding people with the right skills.
It's not just about skills.
Right.
It's about finding people who are excited to play the game of your business.
The game of business.
A game of business.
Okay. What does that mean?
So Gerber uses that term to describe the unique culture and operating principles of each business.
Gotcha.
He argues that the key to building a strong team is to clearly communicate the rules of the game, making it clear and compelling for everyone involved.
So find people who are not just capable,
but
also aligned with your overall vision and excited to contribute to the mission.
Exactly.
This is great.
Good.
Okay, so we've covered the first 5 steps.
We have.
What are the final 2?
Okay, so the last 2 steps are all about bringing your business to life in the real world.
Right.
So we have marketing strategy and systems strategy.
Marketing strategy.
Yes.
That's about getting the word out.
It is.
Reaching your ideal customers.
Reaching your ideal customers.
Right.
It's more than just advertising, though.
Okay.
It's about understanding your target audience deeply.
Okay.
Their needs, their desires, their aspirations.
Gotcha.
Gerber emphasizes that the most effective marketing isn't about shouting your message from the rooftops.
Okay.
It's about whispering it in the right ear.
So it's about being targeted, strategic, understanding what makes your ideal customer tick.
Exactly.
Okay. And then the final step, systems strategy.
Systems
strategy. That is where we put it all together.
This is where it all comes together. Right.
Systems strategy is the glue that holds everything together.
Okay.
It's about systematizing your processes, creating those operational manuals, and building that franchise prototype that we talked about.
So it's about taking all the insights, the primary aim, the strategic objective, the organizational management and people strategy, and turning them into a cohesive system that can run smoothly, predictably, and ultimately achieve the vision we set out to create.
You got it.
This has been an awesome deep dive.
It has.
We've covered so much ground.
A lot of ground.
From the E-Myth itself to the 3 entrepreneurial personalities to the 7 steps of the business development program.
It's a lot.
It is. Before we wrap up, could you just give our listener a concise summary of the key takeaways?
Absolutely. So here are 10 key points from the E-Myth Revisited.
Awesome.
Number 1, the E-Myth.
Working in your business is not the same as working on your business.
Right.
Number 2, the 3 personalities. The technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
They're at war inside every business person.
They are.
Number 3, business life cycle.
Okay.
Businesses go through infancy, adolescence, and maturity, each with its own challenges.
Right.
Number 4, business as a product. Create a business that works without you, like a franchise. Number 5, franchise prototype. Design a system that can be replicated and delivers a consistent experience.
Okay.
Number 6, primary aim. Define your life goals and let your business serve them.
Love it.
Number 7, strategic objective.
Okay.
Create a clear vision for your business and its desired outcomes.
Gotcha.
Number 8, business development program.
Okay.
Follow those 7 steps to transform your business and your life.
Okay.
Number 9, work-life integration. Build a business that supports your desired lifestyle. Not the other way around.
I like that.
And number 10, personal transformation. Embrace the journey of personal growth that building a business the right way can offer.
Those are some powerful takeaways.
They are.
And I think they apply whether you're running a Fortune 500 company or just trying to get a handle on your personal to-do list.
Absolutely.
The E-Myth Revisited is definitely a book to revisit, to study, and to apply in all areas of life.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for sharing your insights.
My pleasure.
And to our listener, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We hope you walk away feeling inspired and equipped to create a business and a life that you truly love.
That's what it's all about.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
We'll see you next time.